Good morning and good day. Good morning and good day. Welcome to another installment, another episode of Kingdom Things with me, your host, Ashley Nicole Phillips, spiritual practitioner by the way of Source, by the way of the Most High, by the way of God, Goddess, by the way of Father, Mother, God, by the way of the Supreme Creator, whatever you like to call the force, the power behind all that is who appointed me, my role of being a spiritual practitioner, spiritual healer. And I'm super excited today. I do want to start by saying these podcasts are timeless. So irregardless about whenever it was posted, they're timeless. So anytime you're listening to this, I hope you find something that resonates with you, something that assists you in this journey of life. So as a collective, humanity, we are going through ascension. As a collective, humanity is going through ascension. What is ascension? Ascension is waking up to the realization that you are more than what you were told, led, or programmed to believe that you are. So ascension is beginning to awaken to the fact that you are more, you are more than what you have been told, programmed, or led to believe that you are. You are an infinite energy, an infinite being, an infinite soul, seated with the energy of the Most High Creator, God, Goddess, Father, Mother, God, the Supreme Creator, Source, the Central Sun. You are an energy, a soul, seated with the energy of the Most High Creator, walking on planet Earth in human form. So you are an energy with no beginning and no end. You are an energy with no beginning and no end, and you are currently manifested in the form of a human walking planet Earth. Ascension as a collective in mass, we are waking up to this realization. We are waking up to the fact that we are limitless. We are boundless. We are limitless and we are boundless as a society, as a community, as humanity. Now today I want to touch on a bit of the game of life. I want to speak on the game of life. And this is really big for me. This is really, really big for me. And that's why I'm feeling really great today. I'm feeling so good. This is really big for me, the game of life. The game of life. And again, take whatever resonates with you. Whatever I speak of, this is my perception of what is. Everyone is going to see through their own lens and have their own perceptions on everything that is. So take whatever resonates with you. If nothing resonates, that's okay. That's fine. In life in general, we get to decide what is our truth. We get to decide what we want to make our truths. So take whatever resonates. I hope I say something that helps you in this journey of life. But the game of life is an energy game. The game of life is an energy game. And when I say game because it's supposed to be joyous. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be invigorating. As we are here to create our lives, we are here to create and recreate our lives. We're here to recreate and recreate ourselves. We're here to grow and expand and continue to create from what we've learned from in our past creations. So we're here in life to create and then continue to create based off of what we learned in this journey of life, what we learned from our past creations. Now, this is really big for me because I grew up with the ability that, we mostly term as being an empath. So I'm able to feel the energies of other people as if they are myself. So I'm able to feel other people's energies as if it's my own energy. This was a challenge for me. When I was young because I didn't know what it was. So I had issues with identifying myself. I had issues with distinguishing myself from other people. with growing up with the empath ability, being able to feel the energy of other people, I had issues with distinguishing myself from other people. I had boundary issues. I have boundary issues that I'm just, working out. And that's why I'm so excited today, because the last 2 weeks alone, I've had so many revelations and exponential growth in my understanding and in my understanding of my own energy. That's why I'm so excited. The last 2 weeks, I've had exponential growth in my understanding of my own energy and who I am. So this life is an energy game. So with being an empath, a quote unquote empath, we feel heavily. We feel emotions heavily. We feel other people's emotions heavily. In myself, I thought it was my burden to carry, to be the one to fix everyone's issues. I thought it was my burden, my role, my responsibility to be the fixer in every situation. With doing that, I was giving my power away. So all of the power that I am, the soul, the energy of the Most High, that energy that I am, I gave it away because I focused that energy on other people. So as being an empath, growing up with the empath ability, I focused my energy on other people, sacrificing myself and what I wanted for other people, because I was so focused on fixing everything and trying to fix everything and everyone around me that I abandoned myself. I abandoned myself. I was very self-sacrificing. And I know, and I've known for a while, that's one of my life lessons that I'm here to conquer, that I'm here to level up from. This is one of the life lessons that I am here to level up from, is the lesson of not sacrificing myself. It's the lesson of self-love. It's the lesson of self-love. I know it's one of my biggest lessons in this lifetime. So growing up as an empath, not being able to distinguish my energy from other people's energies, since I was feeling other people's energies, I thought I was supposed to try to fix it, because I can feel it. Oh my gosh, this doesn't feel good. Let me help you. Let me try to fix it. It doesn't feel good. Let me try to fix it. So I thought that was my burden to carry. Now, with going through Ascension myself and waking up to my power, waking up to my truth, I'm understanding that we are all on our individual journeys. We are all playing our own games. We all have our own lessons to learn. We are all our own creators. We are all souls seated with the Most High energy. So we are all capable. We are all gods or goddesses walking the planet Earth. We are all gods and goddesses walking the planet Earth. I'm no different from you. You're no different from me. We have illusions that say, programmings that say that we're different, but we are each other. We are one. We are all the energy of God. We are all the energy of God in our truest sense, in our truest form, in our truest energetic form. We are all the energy of God. But at the same time, we are all unique. It's quantum. Like two things that seem to be contradictory are taking place at once. So we're all one, and at the same time, we're all unique individuals. So we're all on this journey, and we're all capable, and we're all supposed to create our own lives. We're all supposed to focus our energy on creating our own lives and creating our own creations. Our own creations. And I'm super excited because with having this realization, I feel it. I feel my focus shifting from my outer world, outer manifestations that are already here, to focusing my energy inward on myself, on loving myself and what I want to create and what my life is going to be and what my life is. What my life is. Love will bridge any gap. Love will bridge any gap. Myself, I had a gaping gap, a huge gap between myself and myself. I had a gap between myself and myself. I didn't know, I wasn't clear on who I was. I didn't have clarity of who I was, why I was here, what I liked, what I didn't like, because again, with the empath picking up other people's emotions. Everything was so blurred, so there was very little clarity. But love will bridge any gap. I was guided. I've been guided. I'm fortunate enough to have been taken out of the game for a while. So I've been on pause for a while. I've been taken out of the game for a while to be able to really step back into myself and focus my energy on learning these lessons, of not sacrificing myself, on learning these lessons of what it feels like to sacrifice myself versus what it feels like to have self-love and to honor myself and hold myself up above anything else. It's not sacrificing myself for other people, but loving myself enough to put myself first, and understanding when I put myself first, that puts me in the best position to help other people, to be of service to other people. You know, I'm now choosing to perceive, you know, my abilities, my empath abilities, to perceive the past of, you know, the lack of self-love, the lack of knowing thyself. I'm now choosing to see what I went through as my ultimate training grounds for playing this game of life, for understanding the energies that I am, for understanding the energies that are. So we can perceive our past, you know, what we've been through, the pains, in different ways. I'm being guided to view the pains as purpose, because the pains are preparing you for the future that was always going to be yours, for the triumphs that you were always going to see, that you were always going to achieve. Now, in this game of life, playing this energy game of life, I know we're taught to try to think our way through things. We're taught to be logical. We're taught to use our minds. I will say, with playing this game of life, again, it is energetic. And yes, our thoughts are energy, but our thoughts are typically controlled by the programming of the things that we're taught, the beliefs that we're given, that might not be our truths. They're not true to who we are because they're not organic. They are not from our soul. They're not from our deepest desires, but they are those programmings that we're taught and fed. They are societal indoctrinations. The programmings that we are told and fed are societal indoctrinations. They are not our organic truths. They are not from our souls. They are not our desires. Typically, they are not our deepest desires. So when you try to think your way through everything, you're using those societal indoctrinations to try to make your way to your destiny, to your deepest desires, to your dreams. And again, those societal indoctrinations, those were used to keep you in a box. Those were used to keep you contained. Those societal indoctrinations, and those are where our thoughts are. That's where our thoughts stem from, the societal indoctrinations. So what I've been guided to do is drop down into my heart, to quiet my mind and listen to the intuitive nudges. Answers and guidance is always presenting itself. So the answers to the questions that you have and the guidance to walk you to your destiny, to your desires, to your greatest dreams, those answers and the guidance is always presenting itself. When we are in problem-solving mode, so when we're trying to think our way through everything, when we're in problem-solving mode, we can't hear or pick up or notice the guidance and the answers that are intuitively coming in. So answers to our questions and guidance to walk us down the path to our desires, to our deepest dreams, it's always presenting itself to you. Always presenting itself to you. But when we are in problem-solving mode, attempting to think our way to our desires, to our destiny, we are cut off from we don't notice the guidance or the answers that are being presented to us through our intuition. So we are always being guided down our path of least resistance. We are always being guided down our path of least resistance with no effort from us. All we have to do is quiet our minds and pay attention to what our intuition is telling us. Pay attention to what our intuition is telling us. And how do we quiet our minds in this world? How do we quiet our minds in this world? Meditation. Focusing your thoughts. Focusing your thoughts. Really paying attention to what you are feeding in your mind. The thoughts you are giving energy to in your mind. If you go over to the Kingdom Things Podcast YouTube channel, I do have a series posted, Knowledge is Power series, on the Hermetic principles. So if you go over to the Kingdom Things Podcast YouTube channel, I have the Knowledge is Power edition Hermetic principles posted, and I do one principle per video so that you can learn the principle and see how that principle shows up in your life. But those Hermetic principles are super, super empowering to learn. The Hermetic principles are super empowering to learn. What they do is they essentially remind you of your power. The Hermetic principles remind you of the power that you've always wielded, the power that you have always been. It's awakening to the Hermetic principles assist you in awakening to your power. Again, go over to the Kingdom Things Podcast YouTube channel, the Knowledge is Power edition, the Hermetic principles. There's one principle per video, so you can watch it, learn that principle, and then kind of see how that shows up in your life, and then practice controlling how it shows up in your life. Practicing controlling how it shows up in your life. So that's another tip and tool that we can use to really focus our mind power, really focus our energy on being conscious creators. So we are always being guided down the path of least resistance. But do we notice? Are we waking up to the fact that we are operating off of the programs, the societal programs that we have been indoctrinated with? And again, these societal programs are inorganic. And when I say inorganic, I don't mean bad. I just mean not from God, not from Source, not from the Most High Creator. These programs are creations of humanity. So they are boxes we have created. Again, you are at your truest form. You are an energy with no limit, no bounds. But in human form, we created these boxes. We created these restrictions. We created these illusions of separation between each other. And when you are thinking, you're trying to think your way through everything, you are thinking on the basis of that energy of the human indoctrination, the human programming, the human separation. So when we quiet our minds, practice quieting our minds and focusing our energy, we're able to tap into our God or Goddess within. We're able to tap into that source energy within. We're able to tap into that central sun energy within, our truest form, that boundless, limitless energy. And we're able to notice that guidance of the boundless and limitless energy that is always trying to guide us down our path of least resistance to our dreams, our desires, and our highest potentials. All right, so I also pulled a Rumi Oracle card by Alana Fairchild. The Heart of the Divine. Let me grab it. An Invitation into the Heart of the Divine. Alana Fairchild. Rumi Oracle Pocket Edition. I pulled a Rumi Oracle card, and I will place the depiction of the beautiful art that's on the back of this card in the video right now. Boom. And here is the wording. Boom. Sacred convergence. What cannot be found is what I am longing for. Although poor and needy, I will not accept small pieces of ruby. You do not have to force the planets to spin, nor the great cycles of the soul to progress. All that is required is that you show up for what is offered to you now. Do your part, take your steps. You cannot remain in a vibration of fear if you want to dwell in the frequency of love. You cannot remain in a vibration of fear if you want to dwell in the frequency of love. So super synchronistic. So yeah, so we can't, the way that we operated before, the way that we problem solved before, the way that we acquired and got to and realized our desires and dreams before, It's different now. It's different now. With becoming a conscious creator, it's understanding that you're not doing this by yourself. You have so many elements of yourself as you are the power that is. You are the source of God. You are the power that is. Go over to my YouTube channel, Knowledge is Power, Hermetic Principles. You are all. You're not doing this by yourself. At the same time, it is you by yourself, but you are more elements than what you know that you are. You are so much more than what you know that you are. You know, the fear, we don't have to feel that anymore. The fear only keeps us in the loops of the indoctrinations and the limitations. The fear only keeps us in the loops of the indoctrinations and the limitations. Love is the frequency of freedom. Love is the frequency of expansion. Love is a frequency of exponential growth. We don't have to settle for what we've been told that we were. We don't have to settle for the statistics of what we can be. We are limitless. We are boundless. We are infinite beings with no beginning and no end, having a human experience. Having a human experience. I want to thank y'all so much for joining me today on this episode of Kingdom Things Podcast with me, your host, Asiyah Nicole Phillips, spiritual practitioner, spiritual healer, by the way of God, Goddess, the Most High, the Central Sun, Source, the Most High Creator, Allah, whatever you like to call the power behind what is. That is who appointed me in my role of being a spiritual practitioner and a spiritual healer. Again, I hope something in this podcast resonated with you and helps you on your journey of life, your journey of conscious creating conscious creations, becoming a conscious creator. Just like us, I wrote a story about a girl named Asiyah, a teenage girl growing up in the foster system in New York City. She's on her journey of self-realization, becoming into herself as well. The story of Asiyah on Wattpad. If you go over to Wattpad, whether it's the app or the web version, type in the search bar the story of Asiyah. Both versions will come up. There's the story of Coming Home, the story of Asiyah, and then the story of Asiyah, I'm Home. I'll also link the links to get to those in the description of this posting, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify. You'll find the links here. And then another literary work of mine, My Other Half. My Other Half. It is about our eternal nature, our eternal beingness as spirits. It's about two eternal spirits traveling through lifetimes. They're destined to meet each other. Their souls call from each other before they remember in the lifetime that they were destined for each other. But which lifetime will they reunite? Which lifetime will it work out? My Other Half. Comment, let me know if there are any similarities or anything that resonates with you in the story of Asiyah, as well as My Other Half. Again, thank y'all so much for joining me on this journey of life. Love you so much. Have a great day.